So it's me, your little boy, Samson. They set you up, but it did not do what work out. This is something that you as a choosing, you need to know absolutely. They set you up, but what really shocked them is that the setup did not work. You triumph over all, and you still come out not looking like what they did. This is where a lot of people are filled with anger. This is the reason why a lot of people are filled with pain. This is the reason why they can never forget what you have done to them. Because you may be thinking that you are looking good after all the storm, after all the setup, after all that they have done, and you think to you it's normal. Yes, it's normal to you, but to them it's unnormal. To them it's unbelievable. Why do you ought to prove them wrong? Why do you ought to let them feel like a fool? Why do you ought to make them look like stupid as they are? Because trust me, you have a lot of people around you who have did all kinds of setup in order for them to make sure they bring you down in one stage to another. But what baffled them is that they're setting you up have now set you above some certain level that you ought not to be. Meaning that they're setting you up have now made you become so unique that what they thought they meant for evil is now absolutely working for your own good. What they did because of jealousy, because of envy, because of malice, have now ended up bringing out the best in you. And that is why they are shocked. That is why a lot of people around you today are filled with so much shock, because all that they thought we do we hold you down. It's not something that is bringing out the best in you. It's not something that is bringing out the greatness in you. So they have fully come to realize that they make a big fool of their own self. Trust me, 99% of people who set you up, many of them have now fully come to discover that they absolutely make a big fool of their own self by setting you up, by rising up against you, by plotting evil against you, by believing that they can easily destroy you, by believing that they can easily terminate you. So they have absolutely make a big fool of themselves, because you end up triumphing, you end up overcoming, you end up coming out much more better than what they did. You end up coming out in a flying color. You end up coming out in a great color, much more than what they have done. And this is something that is embarrassing and frustrating them so much. This is something that is absolutely humiliating a lot of people around you, because despite of what they did, despite of what they have done, despite of the trials, despite of the frustration, despite of the humiliation, you end up coming out not looking like what they did to you. You end up coming out not looking like exactly the evil that they do, or that they set you up. So you triumph over them. This is what you need to understand, that you are exactly example like that of Joseph. Because despite of all that the brothers of Joseph did to Joseph, Joseph come out. He triumphed over the betrayed. He triumphed over the humiliation. And when they meet Joseph, they were not able to recognize him. They were not able to identify them, but he identified them. This is where you need to understand that haters, envious, they will always be whom they are. That is why you will always find it difficult to see people who hate you progressing. That is why whoever that hates you, when you still meet them, you will be like, does that mean there is no change occurring? Because they will always be in that spot They will always be in that spot. So you come out from all the struggles, all that they did, and many of them, it is something that is baffling them. How come you are not looking like exactly what they did to you? This is why it's very difficult to figure out. It's very hard when people who did you wrong, when they come out, they won't be able to recognize you. This is why it's very hard for them to identify you, because they can't be able to recognize you, because God will absolutely make it out. God will absolutely make it to work out for you. It does not matter what they did or what they have done. God will absolutely make it rain. This is what happened to Joseph. Despite of all that they did to Joseph, despite of all that they plot against Joseph, Joseph still ended up coming out in a flying color. And this is what a lot of people are filled. This is why they are filled with anger right now, because all that they were hoping is that you either come out looking like what they did to you, or you will remain with that which they have done to you. You will remain with it, and whenever they see you, they will see what they did, or they will see you swimming in that which they have plotted against you. Remain blessed. May God bless you.